Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on...
Coach, thanks very much. Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
A run there on first down going nowhere as he stopped right at the 25. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm going to hit you all.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give him much run after catch.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3 to 1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game. And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
That's 2 really good stops in a row. Back-to-back tackles for losses. I mean, let's face it, they are locked into what they're doing offensively. And now they've earned the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, haven't they?
Yeah, and offensively they're going to have to do something else because the run game, at least on this drive, isn't working.
Strip that ball. Mike 54. Mike 54. Switch up.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Still leaves him with 4th and short. Any chance you go for it?
It's definitely in the back of my mind. In fact, I've discussed it with my staff all week long, different situations that I may want to go for it. Where's the ball on the field? Do I have confidence in my trigger guy? What am I going to do? I'm also talking about my analytics department. What are the odds? If I don't get it, what's it going to do to me the rest of the game? Personally, I end up taking all that, putting it in my head, and making a decision. And you know me, I'm probably going to go for it.
Wow, you want to make an opening drive statement.
Yes, I do. Once I have the ball and I've got it on the move, I don't want to just give up that easily.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth.
Mike 50. I got one.
This time Wilson will throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ball game.
No. Check.
On second down now, it's Taylor. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. All right, T, let's go. All right, T. Check. Back.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They start the drive with Cook. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. The numbers a week ago for Cook. Very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check curls. What's that?
Cousins gives way to Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring him down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
Cousins, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Let's go.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, it's Taylor. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
What? 25.
On third down, Taylor. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Ready?
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. On the ground, it's Cook. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taylor now returning it. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Taylor. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Wilson, a battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
And he's going to get this inside the 30. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. A first down throw for Cousins.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Now Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Mike, let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Check 53, Mike.
They'll throw again. Cousins to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And his kick is indeed good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
What? 380! 54 miles.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 15. First down, Seahawks. On first and 10, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and that'll bring up second down. They'll try again from the 36 on second and 10. To throw again. Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
You better talk to your boy. You better talk to your boy. I'm going to protect you.
We have hit halftime. Still, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
On first down, Wilson. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him even if he has an elite defender on him because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
Oh, that's a big one right there. You talk about breaking off a huge chunk of real estate. But if you're the defensive coordinator, you cannot dwell on the fact you just gave up an explosive run. You have to look ahead, regroup your guys, and figure out a way to slow down this attack.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. Here's Taylor. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On second down now, it's Taylor. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This is third and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game.
Check three, check three, check three.
Here's Wilson to throw. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Myers connects on the PAT. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half.
Blitz coming, and And down he goes. Well, they brought the lead into this third quarter, and now they're really stepping up, setting a tone here defensively.
They came right out roaring because you had to know that in the locker room, they talked about setting that tone that you just described, continuing the dominance that they exhibited in the first half.
And now a shot into coverage downfield is complete. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Now, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. A give to Cook out of the gun, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. To return is Taylor. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. On 1st down, Taylor, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
I'll go special.
They'll run with Taylor. And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. The give to Taylor. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he'll bring this one inside the 35.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And the Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go, G. Get off the field.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 12-yard line.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Mike, ready? Mike, 5-4. Zebra. 54's Mike. Check.
They'll run on first down. It's Taylor. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. The Seahawks on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. They're going to bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
To try again after the sack. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on fourth down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's back to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Push him back. Push him back.
Cousins to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
So another big shot dodged there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory, and I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving. I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Alert. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. You can't block me.
Wilson to throw. And Allen's got it. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field?
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run the counter. Taylor. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
Hey, one set. Check right 54. Line 54. In your face.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Wilson. And this is going to be hauled in. Oh, what a catch at the 10. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. Now a give right side. It's Taylor, and he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable, but do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense, but that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 17-3. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So Kirk Cousins in the offense. Down by 2 touchdowns. 20 seconds to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance.
Go.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. Looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down inbounds. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Cousins. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Now the try here for the extra point. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. So the victory here for Seattle. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on. So for the Seahawks, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.